2016 has been an incredible year for gaming. From the launch of VR headsets like the HTC Vive and Oculus Rift, to Nintendo's announcement about its next system, the Nintendo Switch, it's hard to imagine gaming getting any better next year. In the last 6 months, we've heard more about new console hardware than we have in the last 3 years combined. On one side of the equation is Microsoft, who kicked the year into high gear at E3 2016 by unveiling its completely redesigned Xbox One S, and followed shortly with the tease for its next system, Project Scorpio. Later that day, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Andrew House brought 2 systems of his own to the show, the new slimmed-down PS4 and PS4 Pro. While the Pro and Project Scorpio represent the true next-level experience, the Slim and Xbox One S are offering an immediate perk in the form of smaller, more capable systems than their predecessors. It's a lot to take in, certainly. That's where we come in. We've done all the research on the latest hardware so you don't have to. Deciding between a PS4 and a standard Xbox One wasn't easy. They both had a library of awesome exclusives, both played Blu-Rays, both had access to Twitch, Netflix, Amazon Instant, and HBO, and both had great online services. I hate to say it, but they were nearly identical systems. Sure, you could argue that services like PlayStation Now and PlayStation Vue on PS4, and Windows 10 game streaming, DVR, and EA Access on Xbox One set them apart some, but by and large, Microsoft and Sony's systems were almost indiscernible from one another. But that's a problem that's largely been fixed by Xbox One S and PS4 Slim, both of which offer a distinct advantage over one another. The PS4 Slim is by far the smaller system. But all that extra space isn't going unused. Microsoft's Xbox One S shipped with a massive 2TB hard drive, which is a pretty substantial improvement on the previous 500GB model, and has moved the massive power brick inside the box itself. Sony hasn't done anything as crazy with the PS4 Slim, but hey, don't fix what ain't broken, right? The Xbox One's strong suit is its media playback capabilities. It's not only able to play 4K Blu-rays thanks to its upgraded disk drive, but it's able to stream content from sources like Netflix, YouTube, and Amazon Instant Video, all in the higher resolution. Not only that, but the Xbox One S is capable of displaying high dynamic range video content, even while playing games. Then there's the optical audio and extra HDMI ports that make the Xbox One the better option for the home entertainment enthusiast. The PS4 used to have an optical audio port, but that's one of the features that Sony decided to cut out to save a bit of space. Sony's rejigged PS4 isn't as media savvy as Microsoft's. It's definitely capable of HDR video, but 4K isn't on the menu. It makes up for some of these shortcomings in software thanks to services like PlayStation Vue, but if you want 4K on a Sony console, you'll probably have to wait for the PS4 Pro. That said, Sony has a secret weapon, a newly released virtual reality headset called PlayStation VR. Sony designed the VR hardware to run flawlessly on the new PS4, which is good news if you want an immersive gaming experience but don't want to pay for the HTC Vive or Oculus Rift and the beefy PC you need to run them. Sony promised 50 VR titles by the end of the year, which is 50 more than you'll find on the Xbox One S. But maybe VR and 4K don't matter to you. Maybe the only thing that matters are the games themselves. And that's where things become a bit more black and white. As it stands, Sony didn't actually swap out the processor or GPU inside the system for the PS4 Slim. It's exactly the same hardware as it was before, with a minor change coming to the Wi-Fi antenna, which now supports dual-band frequencies. The Xbox One S actually received a moderate boost in performance, thanks to a tweaked processor and GPU. All that said, the PS4 Slim still has more raw processing power, with 1.84 teraflops of performance versus the Xbox One S's 1.4. Can you actually see that 0.4 teraflops of performance difference? Well, we'll leave that for you to discuss in the comments. The one thing I can tell you for sure is that Sony's PS4 has more platform-exclusive games, with some truly outstanding titles like Uncharted 4, MLB The Show 16, and No Man's Sky. Now, Xbox One S is no slouch in that regard. It has Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, and the Halo series. However, there's far fewer of those console-exclusive titles on Microsoft's system. At one point in time, Microsoft's Xbox Live was the place to play games online, thanks to steadier connections and larger services powering the experiences. These days, that's not always the case, with Sony offering a pretty stable online environment that in many ways rivals, and in some ways surpasses, Microsoft's. By and large, however, core functions are similar across both systems. No matter which platform you pick, you'll be able to stream games on Twitch, watch Netflix, stream local games to your PC, and hang out with friends in a party. Okay, we've talked about the games, we've gone over the platform, and we've discussed VR, 4K, and HDR. So which one should you buy? For us, we picked the Xbox One S. The inclusion of 4K and HDR video on top of a larger hard drive were major selling points, and while Sony's ability to play VR games is nice, there just aren't enough games out there right now. But the determining factor, as always, should come down to the platform where you have the most friends. If everyone you know plays Xbox One, then you shouldn't be the odd one out on Sony's system. And vice versa if your friends are all part of PlayStation Nation. Whichever system you decide to go with, you can count on TechRadar for the tips, tricks, news, and reviews you need to know about. For more on everything Sony and Microsoft, head on over to techradar.com. Thanks for watching.